Hi. Software development is one of those booming careers in tech, and in today's episode, I bring to you a software developer with more than 4 years of experience, and he's actually a student. He's going to be giving us tips on how he has actually navigated his career path and how he's actually earning in tech. Our guest today is Dennis Mawanda. He's a student at Mbarara University of Science and Technology, and he has been a software developer for more than 4 years. He also ventures into other tech fields like DevOps, UI, UX, and graphics. So he's going to be sharing tips about how he started out in tech and everything around that. Welcome, Dennis.
Thank you, Sumaiya.
Can you briefly tell us about yourself?
I'm Mawanda Dennis. I'm a software developer, self-taught software developer.
Wow, self-taught.
Yeah, self-taught. What I can tell you about myself is like, I don't know in which context you want me to tell you about myself.
Okay, how did you start out in tech? You just mentioned that you're a self-taught developer. How did you start?
Yeah, I've been passionate about tech since my P3. And then, as you know, things never flow smoothly. That if you want something to be straight at your disposal, I found many other challenges along the course. Yeah, it always started when my dad used to bring machines at home, computers. By then, he was working in national insurance, and they would allow them to take desktops at home, do the work over like maybe the festive seasons, do work, and then present it after the festive season. So from the days he used to bring the machines at home, I used to get curious, like why does the machine has many buttons? For example, on a keyboard, I wanted to know why they do, like why is it resembling a TV and it's not showing other TV channels, So from that I got on discovering why. So it reached a moment when by then he had brought a laptop, those big laptops by then. So, and power had gone off. He told me as a way to entertain us because power was off and we're having good moments as a family. So it's a way to entertain us. I was like, okay, let's play music. Taught me how to play a song. I think that was my first bit of interacting with the machine as in a computer. So starting from there, I started on how to play songs. So I went on P3. The school I went to has a computer lab, thanks God. And then during that course, they used to teach us some basics of computer, what are computers, how to use Microsoft Word. And also I used to turn out to be the best in that. Then it went on P6, P7, Senior 1. This is when I got fully exposed to machines. In that, due to my passion, I developed skills that I never knew that I had developed. So it reached a time when I had even to correct the computer teachers where things could be wrong or where they could be stuck. For example, in my favorite application by then used to be Microsoft Excel, because my dad is an accountant and I use more of it, and I used to be much like I used to see it frequently. So it was kind of my favorite by then. So as a person who is explorative, so like being much exposed to the computers in the computer lab of my former school, my O-level school. So I befriended many of my teachers, and we are tight friends, most of my computer teachers since Form 1 and up to Form 6. So these people could give me elevated privileges to access the computer labs, so I could go there whenever I want, provided like it's bedtime. So from that I got to know, there's programming, there's also this. So that's when I also got to know more about programming, because I was also to be inquisitive, as in how do we make computers respond to our commands. Actually, it all started when our computer teacher told us, you know that you can tell a computer what to do, because it came in a context like, well, say computers are dumb, So you have to tell them what to do. So I was like, oh, so generally you can tell the computer I want this and produces it. I'm like, okay. Then he went on how to tell us how computers are given instructions and then how they execute them and then give you results. From there is when he introduced programming. So I got much curious about programming, in that I had to dive into it and then get to know what programming is.
Still in high school?
Yeah, that was in O level. So time went on, hackathons came up. I remember it was the first hackathon I attended was international. Oh, I have forgotten the title. So I wasn't able to present because I never had a laptop or any device. Any whatever at home. I had to leave my friends go, and then they won, and then they went to Bangkok. So I got more pushed as in, so when you really venture into the field, there are many other privileges. So time went on, I used to also help other people who used to go for those hackathons or competitions. Then time went on, I started my senior 4. Still, I passed my ICT best compared to other subjects, followed by math and geography. I went to HSC. I very much wanted to do physics so that I can do PEM. So that I can be offered software engineering at my career. But due to various interactions, I told no, even if you just do MEG, any combination that has math, you can do software engineering. So it's something I got passionate straight away after knowing about programming. And then what I knew that soon is software engineers that do software and do programming. So time went on. So then later things never turned out to be good in my HSC. Was due to change of environment. I used to a single environment. Here I was in a mixed environment, and I'm that weak person to adapt to the environmental changes. So things never flourished like how I wanted them to be, how they could be. Like you go, I went to a mixed school that was much strict and had to cope up to their timetables. So there I had to withdraw a little bit from computers so that I can try to focus on books. But now later this had turned out to be an addiction that I couldn't go with computers. So just like, I don't know how I can say it, like I had to go withdraw from books and
go to
computer. I used to spend most of my time in the computer labs. I remember HSU you have more free lessons because you offer like 5 subjects, so you're not fully occupied. So as in for my free lessons, I used to go to the computer lab, then turned out to be more addictive to the extent I had to be there day to day. Now it being that I could easily make friendship with my computer teachers, we never had any issue with me. So anytime I could go there, I could accept me. Then to make it worse, also when it reached 3rd term, this school introduced internet to the computer lab, and things went berserk. I neshed. I got 1 point at my Form 5.
That was bad.
Yeah, I had to repeat Form 5 then from another school. Thank God I did things worked out. I passed my HSC. Yeah. So those sitting for HSC, I had lost hope because math wasn't that much on my best side. I had never passed math. That's the fact. The maximum I used to get was an O. Then later I had lost all hope. I like, okay, I will sit and do accounting. So that I work with my dad's audit firm. So that carried on. Then when my dad asked me what I was to do at campus, I told him accounting. So we started working with him during my vacation. But later also, I thought of sitting at home during my vacation without access to computers. But like, no, the best way to go work with that, since his office there are many computers, I may get one to use. So in vacation, I used to go with him to work. Started working with him, but now his work turned out to be boring. I never loved it. It required much of opening the receipts, tracking, those things accountants do. It became tedious and he could pay some less money.
You're already complaining about less money.
Okay, yeah, that was it. Okay, I just know in vacation, you just want money. Just after high school, you have this, want this, you're a boy. You know this person that has older siblings to give you money, but also you have your needs as a person.
Yeah.
Like, I won't go for faster money, but I think I can do something to get money. That's when I told him, you know what, I can do some graphics. So give me one of the laptops so that the time you're not using it, I can do some graphics. So I started doing graphics. So by then
you taught yourself how to do graphics.
Yeah, I taught myself how to do graphics, how to use Photoshop, Illustrator. Then I was venturing into After Effects.
Just to take you back, what was your first graphics software, the one you first interacted with as you were learning?
The first graphics software I interacted with was Photoshop. Because I thought Photoshop would make it all, from calendars, business cards. Because by then I had my father's friends that used to pay much for business cards. Like, oh, I can get that money. So one of them gave me the contract of designing for him business cards. Remember, I kind of withdrew from computers then. Had done I'd given pause to programming, what and what. So I was starting afresh because it was a whole year from computers, and apart from classwork. So I went back to I started graphics, then few of the business cards, and people for the start they were happy because something you do passionately turns out to be good, brings good results. So my first client was happy, suggested another friend like that. And that's when the lockdown came in. So during the lockdown, we were very much bored at home. Seriously, what can I use this machine for? Then I remembered once I loved programming then. So I think so I started researching about programming afresh. So because before in my O-level I used to do programming, but this one of copy and paste. You go to the site, you read, okay, which code can I make to, for example, then I used to do some Java programming. Then Java had Android Studio as a framework for making Android apps. So I used to use that, drag and drop. So, and then we used to feel good that I've made the mobile app, and you surprise all your classmates. Remember, people they are blue about programming, and then we used to be the bosses around school. So I had to start afresh, but then I had an idea of making point of sales. It couldn't totally be a point of sales, but also an auditing software to help my dad in his office. So okay, I told him about the idea, hey, that's a very good idea, I will support you. So I started on it, I developed. Now later, as you know, programming is also another addictive as an activity, or if I can say. I started turning away from his work. Then he had to complain, now you spend more of the time on computers, you don't want to do work at office. So I very much fought to balance the two. In that during days I had to pay attention to his work, then in the night I had to do my own things. But now it's only during the day that I could access faster internet at office. Then in the night is when I could get time to do my research. Now I very much used YouTube videos. So during the day I used to download the YouTube videos to review them during the night. So I started watching YouTube videos on how to do programming with Python. They taught me how to install all the environments. Then how to write the first command. So things turned out to be interesting when I built my first app. That was the firmware called PyChuti. Things like I was very I felt that rewarding sense when I had to build something like similar to some programs I see executing on other computers. Are like, oh, things are possible. So I was like, it won't feel comfortable if I only develop for desktops. Because I looked at how many people have desktops compared to people who have mobile phones. Like, okay, now these things may not work. I think I should also think of mobile phones. Little did I know, like, okay, with mobile phones, I had seen one problem that you have to develop for two platforms, that's iOS and Android. So like, I think there should be a way of developing for both, because both of them are machines and they are almost similar. Like, so I started making my research. Since I had the background of Python, I was given a suggestion of okay, on my searching, I used to say, okay, how to create a mobile app with Python that works on Android and iOS. And then they gave me a framework called Kiwi. I tried Kiwi, but it turned up not to be good. I kept it like, there should be a better framework. Then I researched, I read articles. That's when I found out, like, okay, Flutter is among the best frameworks by then. So like, oh, Flutter. Then I tried out Flutter, and Flutter is seamlessly simple, and it gives results straight away. Though now installing it was a problem by then, unlike nowadays where it's much simplified. So I took the hassle of installing Flutter, installed Flutter, tried out, built my first to-do app. Things worked out very well. I tried out with Firebase. Okay, now I looked at around Office later, like, oh, so what mobile app can I build that might help us at Office? But at Office, we had issues with passwords of URL for clients, because at Office we used to file returns for clients after making for them audits. So now we have to add a kabook where you keep passwords and their emails, usernames for the URL portal. So like, oh, I think we can make an app so that even if I'm away and I don't know where the book is, this person can log into the app and check for the password. So I tried out that, and that app really worked. And though later, I don't know if they still use it up to now.
How did it make you feel providing a solution to the people at the office?
Seriously, because by then I'd gotten used to making things work. I never felt good, only that I just know that I don't know how to say. Okay, people praising you that you're genius. That's what made me feel good. Like, hey, at this age you're making this and this. So okay, it's whites who only whites who make mobile apps. Like, oh, then when my dad shared the experience with the friends, like, your boy is an IT guru. You should take him for IT. Then my dad was like, he's going first to go for accounting, then once he'll go for IT. So that was a plan then before.
Did you earn from that application?
Not really. It was just for fun and just give them to use. So life continued on, but then later, like, seriously, if I got campus, I'm a person who doesn't want to do much of that intensive reading, and accounting requires much intensive reading. So I felt like I need mesh, like I need to change my plan. That was late in December when most of the campuses had closed their admission. Programming was not going to return money soon. I think I should think of something else. Then I saw by then these Airtel Wi-Fi, the red ones, were very much popular. Like, but now people were like, they couldn't afford the Airtel data. And then also by then later I was also popular. It was a little bit faster than now. Like, I think I should get a way to at least try to unlock with my files and see. Because by then also I had an Airtel MiFi that had came with from had come with from office. So I tried from that, and definitely later I unlocked it. So having tried it, I tried to okay. I think many people are also facing the same problem. I shared with my classmates. I told them, okay, if anyone who has an Airtel Wi-Fi or any other Wi-Fi, hoping that also if I have unlocked this Airtel one, there are also ways to unlock those other ones that are locked. So I announced in a class group, people shared my message to their friends. Then the message went viral, and then I discovered that people had the same issue with me. So I made money from that to survive along my programming career, where I was trying out here and there. So among those customers who had come to unlock their Wi-Fi, there happened to come a guy who was working for a tech startup. So this guy got curious of what I was doing. Then later I asked, apart from unlocking Wi-Fi, what else do you do? I told him, yes, I also do develop mobile apps. Oh, by the way, we also need the mobile app developer, and do you mind passing by our office? Yeah. Then arrangements were made. They came, picked me from school, went to their offices, we discussed. So they agreed to offer me my very first paid job
in software development.
Yeah. The money wasn't much, and I wouldn't care, but I very much loved to work with a team, because what I knew that software engineers or developers work in a team, and I wanted to see what other people do. Yeah, from that workplace, it's when I really I learned how to integrate with APIs in mobile applications. Before I used to use Firebase, but now here I got to know how to integrate with other frameworks. For example, by then they were using PHP Laravel for their backend, and I made for them their first crowdfunding mobile app, only that later it was dumped due to lack of clients and customers. Then we went on, we started on the Circle system, where my role was to be the mobile app developer, to develop the agent side and the user side. That project was successful. That was after 2 years. After a year, also got an external client. This is a person who gave me my first aim.
How did it make you feel?
Yeah, it was really. I can't explain the feeling, because I was nervous at first, because the woman asked for the money I would charge for the mobile app. I had no idea. Then I had to consult from a friend. A friend I had also met in Mbarara is also doing mobile app development. I said, I have a client who wants a mobile app. How much should I charge? Person told me, you ask for 3.5. That's too much money. The person won't allow. That person told me, just say that money, whatever comes May. So I took on his advice. When the client told me how much money, I told her 3.5. She told me, no, we are planning to give you 2.5. Okay, still you bring. So work started. I had to work for 2 companies, because for that client it was a short contract. But when I finish the mobile app, I hand over the tools and she pays.
You also had school.
Yeah, I had school. I had work from my full-time employment.
How did you juggle the 3?
I would say I lived on God's grace. Because seriously, I just never. The new client was remote, and she knew that I was a student, but she never trusted me. So every now and then she was on my neck to check my progress. So I used to have 2 meetings per week to present to her. Now, luckily enough, at my main workplace, people notice that I'm also a student, and they are paying me less. So when I would tell them that I'm busy with classwork, they could adhere. So I tried to play around like that. Thank God, in 3 months I had finished that project, and it was a very big project, because the mobile app had over 67 screens to design. And then I was very much experienced that I know I'm going to do this and this and this. And that was my first time to interact with UI designs that have been designed by another person without any idea of that this can be reusable or this can't be reusable. So it was very much hectic, but I don't regret it because that woman taught me how to pay details how to pay attention to details, which wasn't there before. I think that was a very huge milestone to me. From that day, everything I would do, I would pay attention to the details. Let it be designing, let it be development. I couldn't just skip like, okay, maybe this is small, I should just leave it out. So I did her work, and she was very much amused, and she was like, okay, this is very much good of you. It being that you're a student, I never expected you to produce such work. On top of that, she was like, we had upgrade 2.5, but I'll add on 300 to make it 2.8. I was very happy. For that money, I had a dream of buying a MacBook. So I had to get some money. I bought a MacBook, then I used the rest of the money, just as you know, to refresh myself, buy other things.
Yeah.
So life continued on.
Did you tell your dad about the earnings that you started making out of software development?
The only earning I told about him was about the new job, because by the second lockdown, I had to stay in Mbarara to work for the people. So I had to explain where I was going to stay. I told them they're going to give me accommodation, food and everything. I think and it's a safe place, I've seen it. So from that gig, I continued, I got other gigs, and then I was much confident. Then later I got my first full stack gig, where I had to develop a chat system for their crowdfunding still.
Did you advertise yourself? Like, did you talk about your services, or gigs just came to you?
By the way, for programming, I had never advertised anywhere. And up to now, I've never. But I still get clients. Reason being, like, people know me of doing good work. So after the ladies gig, I got the church gig for developing a cloud system. We worked on it. Later these people failed to pop up with the payment, so we had to give it a pause until now. So later came on some other small gigs of help me here, develop me this one for presentation, what and what. Yeah, then life went on just like that until now.
Right. How okay. Do you think software development is really a good career path for anyone from what you've experienced?
Depending on the person's preferences and choices. But it's not a career I would recommend for someone who wants money urgently. You should just go for software development because you had it pays off well. Things may fail you. There's something that needs patience. It's not that one day you're going to solve. But people have it in mind like, okay, you're going to develop a mobile app like Facebook, and then in 2 months I'm as rich as Mark Zuckerberg. If you've come with such a mentality, you're going to break down before.
All right. And what advice would you give to someone who wants to become a self-taught software developer just like you here?
I think it all takes passion, because the passion never feel the pain. You never feel the hard work, like, I'm working too much. Some things will look minor. Even that the days you will sleep doing, like, trying to debug things, they won't feel painful to you.
All right. So, what are those vital things a software developer should do? Some things that you feel like they made it a success for you.
First and foremost, producing quality work, being honest to your clients, and communicating. At least let the client fail you, but don't fail the client. That's why I've been able to get more gigs from referrals, because the only advertisement I ever made was for unlocking my file. From that day onwards, I've never advertised myself. that I'm doing mobile apps. Apart from my statuses, my WhatsApp status where I post my work, also to inspire other people whom I mentor.
Oh, you're even mentoring people. That's nice. All right. Okay, what are some of the last words, tips you'd want to give a software developer out there?
Just be consistent, pay attention to details, be honest with the clients, read, research, don't settle, don't get that comfortable zone that now I program and that's all. There are many problems that need to be solved. There are many things that you need to know to improve your skill as a software developer, because software development is not like history that once are moved from where to where to remain that for years to come. The things evolve. Every now and then they bring in new efficient technology. So if you stay in that state of, okay, now I'm a Java developer and that's all, you're really going to be left behind, but the work you'll be producing will show that you're not catching up to the trends.
All right, thank you so much. It was nice having you here. I hope whoever is watching this gets to learn something from this video. Till the next episode. This video was shot by Top Notch Media. You can reach out to them in case you need all kinds of videos.